Alright you guys, in today's video I wanted to go over how to flush out your radiator and also how to bleed it to get all the air bubbles out. So first thing you're going to want to do is go ahead and jack the car up like so, and you don't really want to raise the rear of the car because keeping the front of it up, it angles it and helps the air bubbles come out better with the bleeder valve. So you just want to keep the front of the car raised. So you don't want to just let it drain on the ground. So right here is your drain plug, and you don't have to remove your entire undershield, my aluminum undershield that I removed. I'm replacing this air filter. You can see how dirty it is, so that's why I have everything removed to go ahead and replace it. So there's actually a hole cut out for this drain plug right here, so you don't have to take your shield off. But let's go ahead and loosen it. You want to make sure the engine's obviously cool before you do this. Alright, I gotta take the cap off obviously because more fluid should be flowing out. So let's go ahead and remove the cap. I'm sure it's going to let a lot flow. And there it goes. Yeah, that filter was definitely dirty compared to the new one. This thing's taking some time to drain. There's a good bit of fluid in here. Should be about, I believe, 2 gallons. The entire system. I don't know if all that'll come out. Alright, once you got the radiator fluid completely drained, the next step is to open the bleeder valve. And this is where people really make the mistake. They don't know where the bleeder valve is and they don't open it. So the bleeder valve is right, if I get this down here, it's right here. So you're going to go ahead and just turn it loose. So get a little better angle here. And you're going to go ahead and completely remove this cap. Just like so. So that's the bleeder valve. So now the key is you want to make sure, like the service manual says, is you very slowly fill the radiator fluid up. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Just take this cap off. And by filling it slowly, it makes sure the air bubbles come up. So as we're filling this, you want to keep an eye on that in the back, because once that gets to the top, we're going to go ahead and screw in the cap. And then there's some procedure steps of starting the engine up to 3,000 RPM. And then cycling it through and then checking the bleeder valve again to let all the air bubbles completely come out. Alright, so we'll go ahead and do this. And I believe the service manual says, less than 2 quarts per minute. So, and I just use Prestone. I've been using Prestone, just the 50/50. It's already pre-diluted. I've never had any issues with it before. Go ahead, back up. And the key is just to make sure you pour it in slow. Now as you're pouring this, you want to make sure you're checking the bleeder valve, because as soon as fluid starts coming out of the bleeder valve, that's when you're going to go ahead and stop putting in radiator fluid. Alright, you're going to need 2 gallons of the Prestone mix. I've already gone through 1 gallon so far, and I'm doing as the instructions say. I'm doing, for every minute, I'm doing 2 quarts of radiator fluid. And what that does is it ensures it allows air to come up through the system through the bleeder hole in the back. And that's why you just got to go slow and take your time, and you won't have any issues. Alright, once the bleeder cap is installed, we're going to go ahead and put the radiator cap back on. And what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and start the car up and let it get to normal operating temperature. and then you're going to rev it to 3,000 RPMs, and you're going to hold it for 10 seconds. So let's go ahead and let's start this hog up. Let's let it warm up here, and then we're going to make sure that there's no leaks or anything. Looking good, looking good. On temps. Give it a little bit, let it get to normal operating temperature, and then I'll rev it. Alright, I believe the car is up to operating temperature. Yeah, it looks like it's there. So you're going to want to take the heater too, and you're going to want to turn it up. Oh, I got to turn it on first. Turn your heater up to 90. Let that blow a little hot air. Now we're going to go ahead and rev it up to 3,000 RPM for 10 seconds. There you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let it idle for a little bit. And make sure you keep an eye on the temperature gauge if it doesn't go up to hot. If it does that, you obviously have a lot of air and you need to shut it off. So we're going to do it one more time here. So it says 2 or 3 times you rev it to 3,000 RPMs and hold for 10 seconds, and then you're going to go ahead and you're going to go out and check the bleeder valve again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, now with the car off, you don't want to go ahead and open the radiator cap immediately. The system's pressurized. You want to wait probably about a half hour, maybe 40 minutes to be safe, just to let it cool down. And then once it cools down, then we're going to go over here and start refilling it again. So let's go ahead and let's wait for it to cool down. Alright, once you've let the car cool down, we're going to go ahead and repeat the same process. We're going to go ahead and pull off the radiator cap and the bleeder valve. We're going to make sure it's cool now, at least a half hour or so, 40 minutes. Pull this off and you'll probably hear some air suction. And then we're going to go over here to the bleeder valve, which I already loosened it up with the screwdriver. Now let's see. Yeah, the level's definitely dropped. So we're going to go ahead and fill at 2 quarts a minute until this fills up with fluid again. And then once it fills up with fluid, we're just going to repeat the process, and that's how you bleed the system. Now, by repeat the process, what I mean is we're going to put radiator fluid in, as the instructions have said, at 2 quarts per minute. And you keep doing it until you see fluid come up to this. So when you pull the cap on this after letting the engine cool down and revving it to 3,000 RPMs and you see that there's already fluid here, that means the system's completely bled and you don't have to keep doing this process. So let's go ahead and pour some fluid in slowly, and let's see the radiator fluid come up to the bleeder valve. This heat all the way up. Make sure it blows through the heater core. bit. And make sure you keep an eye on the temperature gauge if it doesn't go up to hot. If it does that, you obviously have a lot of air and you need to shut it off. So we're going to do it one more time here. So it says 2 or 3 times, you rev it to 3,000 RPMs and hold for 10 seconds, and then you're going to go ahead and you're going to go out and check the bleeder valve again. All right, this will be my 3rd time checking the bleeder valve. So let's go ahead and do that here. So remove the radiator cap. This camera would hurry up and pan. Okay. And then we're gonna come over here and remove the bleeder valve again. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like it still needs more fluid. So that means there was air in the system that got let out. All right, let's go ahead and start out in fluid. All right, I feel like I'm repeating myself here a lot, but this is the 3rd time doing this, the same procedure. We're going to pour in the radiator fluid slowly, 2 quarts a minute. So let's go ahead and let's start pouring some in. I see it pulsating coming up, so it looks like it's full. Okay, I believe this is my 4th time bleeding it. So let's go over here. And let's check out if we still need to do it again. And the answer is yes. So you just keep doing this process until when you pull the bleeder valve, there will be fluid there. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright. Let's go ahead and take this screw out again. I think this is my 5th or 6th time doing the process it took. I'm pretty sure that the fluid came up to the top, and once you see fluid up to the top of the bleeder hole, because some spilled out when I was checking it, you're definitely done. So that would complete bleeding the air system out and replacing it with new radiator fluid. So I hope you guys liked that video, and yeah, I'll see you on the next one.